What's up, awesome people? Hey, thanks for stopping by today. Really appreciate it. So today we're going to talk about fretboards. A lot of people talk about fretboards when you're a guitar player. And if you notice here, there's a gloss finish on it. Well, it didn't come from the factory like that. It was just kind of a satin finish, which is fine, except for it's white maple. And white maple needs some protection. And so, in addition to protecting it, I thought we'd throw in some bling. That's what this video is all about. All right, continuing on with our Fender Squire Telecaster Deluxe, which right now is covered underneath up here, and continuing to get its clear coats. We're going to take this raw fretboard and we're going to give it a nice finished, polished look using an airbrush and Tru-Oil. And with the Tru-Oil, we're going to mix just about 25%, so it'll be 75% Tru-Oil, sort of like that, and then about 25%, give or take 20 to 25% naphtha, which makes a really good cut for Tru-Oil. And then of course we're going to take our stick and stir it up, get it nice and mixed, and then we're going to run it through a filter. Especially older bottles of Tru-Oil tend to every now and then get these little clots in them and stuff, and so we want to make sure that doesn't clog up our airbrush. Now you could take a, an old t-shirt or something that doesn't have any lint in it, and you could rub it on. As soon as we lay this coat down, we're going to lay a very light coat to start. And that's the thing with maple, especially really pure white maple like this. It shows everything. It shows every little thing you could imagine as far as little swirls and creases and dust and anything like that. So we're going to be really, really, really cautious. I can't stress that enough with white maple like this. We're going to be really cautious. So we'll run that through a filter. Like that. If there's a little bit more, we'll run it. And all we're doing is we're just filtering it to get out any clots, any kind of problems. And then we got a nice safe spot to set that aside in, and we'll set it aside for a moment. And then we'll take our airbrush, and this is a 0.5 tip for this airbrush. Put just a little bit in it, and since we may be inverting it, well, not inverting it, but putting it at a very steep angle, we'll put a top on it. It's a clean top. And we're just going to test, see how we go here. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. Hey, if you're finding what you want, what you need, please take a moment, like, subscribe to the channel. It really does help our channel, and me, really appreciate you. Thank you. Put a little bit, because we want a really, really light coat to start with here. Just something for the rest of the coats to stick to. Now I have taken this to 1500, and then even in spots to 2500 as far as sanding it. That's important. I didn't shoot a lot of that, but I'm saying 1500 to 2500. Now some guys may argue with that, but there's a reason why I'm doing that. I'm getting it as smooth as possible. It's reasonably sealed up. Later on we'll clean the top of the fret. And I'm using the backlight there to help me see to put just a very, very light coat on. Okay, let's bring it down to where you can see it. So just almost like a matte coat on there. And all we're doing is creating an environment so one more coat will stick. That's all we're doing. Giving it a nice sort of just matte sheen to start with. Now the next coat we do, we'll probably wait a good 10 minutes, and I can actually just probably blow some air on it to help it dry. On the next coat, we'll do more of a medium heavy coat. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more like 12, and our goal here is to keep the coats light and build slowly, thereby saving ourselves a ton of post sanding, post polishing, etc. Okay, as you can see, it's getting just kind of shiny. Not super shiny. It doesn't need to be bling shiny. It protects the fretboard, protects the wood, and is basically, I don't know what they do at the factory. It had some kind of protective coating on it, but not only will this add to the aesthetics of the guitar, but it'll protect this white maple from getting all grungy with fingertips and stuff. Okay, so the last time through, we'll get up a little closer. I'll try and be ambidextrous here and give you a close-up view of what we're doing. And the last time through, this is the third coat. All we're going to do first, we're going to test our airbrush and make sure that we're getting some oil through there. We are. And we're going to put a little bit heavier, not real heavy. The light coats work in your favor towards post having to sand it, buff it, and all that stuff, which we will. We'll polish the frets with a fret protector, fretboard protector, and all of that afterwards to get the Tru-Oil off the frets. But as far as polishing the fretboard itself, we really won't have to do a whole lot of that. It's one of the advantages of an airbrush. All right, leaving off where we were, it wasn't actually clean the needle at all. It was just we were out of Tru-Oil in our bowl. So we'll pause from where we were and we'll move on from there. Notice I have my pressure pretty high. That's just to make sure that the Tru-Oil atomizes. And we'll move down as we go. I'm keeping a really close pattern on this. Then we'll just run some air over it. Just keep running some air over it. Now it's getting real shiny. I don't think we're going to have to do much post sanding or polishing on this. Maybe a little bit. Alright. Nice clear reflection of that light in the background. Looking pretty good. Alright, so 30 minutes later, dry to the touch. Of course, it'll take more time to cure, but looking fantastic. We may do a little post-polishing on the fretboard. We'll certainly polish the frets themselves. We'll show a bit of that. But all in all, looks pretty darn good. Looks pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with that.